Here lies what's left of a house torn apart. Empty room, empty walls, empty home, empty yard. And bottles of relief and long since drank and drank some more. Broken man stares at pictures shattered all across the floor. Two faces keep repeating in each faded memory. Somehow familiar, known forever, but there's still a mystery. The first one moved mountains, made a man out of me. Other side was a liar, setting fire to those dreams. And here lies what's left, a broken man in the dark. Empty room, empty walls, empty home, empty yard.
Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. This is Doug Sashery, and as always, I am joined by
Rob Mendiola.
Greetings, Rob.
Greetings, Doug.
I
still got a little bit of a voice issue going on, but feeling a lot better though.
That's good. No fluid in the chest.
No.
Okay.
Just vocal.
Okay. Well, you're not going to be singing for a few nights then.
No.
Okay. Well,
we got on a little late because work was holding me up, but we made it. We're here.
Okay.
We're recording. What do we have today, man?
We have Jared McCloud of the Clan McCloud.
Awesome.
Jared McCloud of
Prepare
Jared
for a
McCloud
quickening.
Music. What's up, man? How you doing today?
How you guys doing? Thank you all for having me. I appreciate it.
Man, we're glad to have you. Yeah, I told that to Rob when he walked in, and because that's been in my head, I think, from the first night we met.
Highlander.
Highlander.
Oh, yeah. Let me try and call tech support for something, and that's all I'm going to talk about.
I figured you. That's not the first time you've heard that. Yes.
No. It's usually like anybody like on call the bank or like some sort of support line. They'll be like, McCloud.
They start nerding
like,
out.
Yeah. I mean that, or I was thinking that, boy, this is gonna age me, but you won't know what I'm talking. You might know. I was to say for his intro music, we always intro like we'll put part of a sample of somebody's music in front of the podcast we're doing that week, and I said, we could play the old theme from McCloud. The Dennis Weaver TV show, which you probably know only because somebody told you before. That's why.
I know only because you know how you can set like Google alerts for your name.
Yeah.
Once in a while, something will come out about that, and it'll tell me.
Yeah,
then I'm always like, this has nothing to do with me. So
yeah, I think I was a little kid when that was out.
Sure.
The original movie one.
Well, they had a series.
They had a series, yeah.
And then they started having like
it was a Western, right?
Well, no, it was a detective, but he was dressed as a cowboy, like.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I don't recall that one.
No, that's it. It was Dennis Weaver. He was McCloud.
Oh, okay.
But not a Scottish McCloud.
Okay.
Yeah. Allegedly, I mean, like I said, I'm dating myself, so Merry Christmas.
Sure.
But
Jared, he wields a different kind of axe, right?
That's right.
Six string.
That's true.
Yeah. And your guitar work is amazing, dude.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I've been checking out a lot of stuff.
I grew up, my brother is a lot older than I am and kind of made me play guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And I would listen to, his bands in the 80s, and it was all just like, shredding and just trying to be a guitar hero. So that's really
that was
all I ever wanted to be was a guitar player. Mm-hmm. And then sometime in the 90s, I was like, I really don't care about being a guitar player. I just want to write good songs. Right. So it still sneaks its way in, I guess. But
yeah, you do a lot of stuff for it being an acoustic, man. You really do kind of go out there.
Yeah. I mean, I have no problem with someone singing just, big cowboy chord songs or whatever, but like, I want to make it a little more interesting for me, I guess.
It does help.
No, he does.
And,
it keeps your attention. It definitely adds to keeping your attention.
Thank you. Yeah. I'm sort of like, if I'm bored playing it, then I'm sure nobody's really thrilled to be listening to it.
Right.
So
Now, what's the? I met you when you were out with Scotty. You got a lot. You got
Mr. Scotty Austin, yeah.
That's right. You got a few more runs out coming this year.
So yeah, we're I'm gonna meet back up with him on Rock the River in Oklahoma. I believe at the end of June.
I will probably be there.
So you do a full
Hell
band?
Yeah.
And acoustic?
I think we're bringing the whole band out for that one. It's like 3 days, so it makes sense to bring everybody out, which is a lot more fun. I get to play electric guitars and be loud and whatever. So
be loud.
It'll be fun as long as it doesn't rain. It rained last year.
Oh yeah.
And
I heard everybody got stuck.
Yeah, I didn't because I only pulled in a certain amount, but my God, I had just bought hiking boots, and thank God I did because, I would have never gone out there. And I could tell you some other horror stories, but I can't really say those on the podcast. But
so I should bring hiking boots, is what you're saying? Just
in case, man.
Yeah, be prepared.
But it was okay. But it was. I really liked the setup. It was really nice, and everybody was really nice out there. But just the. It was a little muddy last time, man. But
everybody says like that's one that you really want to be a part of, and I'm stoked that I got added to it. I need to find some sort of like camper or something because I'm not really an outside camper guy. I'm a camper, I've been told. So
no, hey, I'm there with you. I've retired from any tent camping. I will camp in a cabin or Airbnb or in fact when I was there last year I was at a hotel room, so that's definitely what I did.
Say less. I'm right there with you.
Hey, good deal, man. What about what I was going to ask you, I guess, is you said that you had the younger brother, the older brother.
Sure.
Yeah, what started you in music, man? What was that it?
So basically my brother's 12 years older than I am. Wow. And because of that, he got stuck watching me a lot when my mom had to work. So she'd make a deal with him being like, look, it sucks. You got to watch him, but you can have friends over. You can't just go anywhere, Yeah. So it's kind of a trade-off. So he was big in, 80s metal and thrash and stuff. And he would have friends come over and one day thought it'd be funny if when they showed up, I could play Breaking the Law by Judas Priest. So nice. That was my first song I ever learned how to play. Wow. And they were like, oh, look, he's a little shredder. That's cool. And I just never put it down. That was all I ever wanted to do after that.
Yeah, that is fantastic, man. That's pretty impressive, man. Yeah, your brother was.
And then I'd go be in a car with my mom and it was like Cher and Motown. Oh, wow. So if you take that and then like mix in, Slayer and Metallica and somewhere in the middle, that's what I do, I guess. So.
Sweet spot.
There you go, man. That's pretty cool.
If Cher joins Slayer, you get me, I guess.
Oh God.
It's good to have a good knowledge base of, all kinds of music though. I think because you pull from those.
Yeah, especially Motown too, because a lot of rock and roll roots came out of there, man. So
absolutely. And it's just so it's all about melody and hooks and things that how long ago were those records put out? We're still singing them. We're still talking about it. Those, I always hear that undeniable
that Steve Perry basically based his whole style off of Sam Cooke, vocally. And you can hear it when you listen to Sam Cooke. You're like, oh man, that does sound like Steve Perry,
absolutely.
Cool.
And it's just it's you put on those records and they still sound good. They still sound like $1 million, and the songs are timeless, and that's kind of what I want to do. I want to make stuff that people might listen to in a few years from now. Yeah. So
10, 20, 30 years still sounds good.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I know I'm going to break off subject for a minute, but I'm famous for doing that.
Yeah.
But I was looking at something on YouTube the other day, and they had somebody who was on a rant, some guy, and I don't know who he is, but he was on some rant. He's always on a rant about Don Henley, and this time his rant, he was saying in his rant that Don Henley, him and the Eagles will be forgotten in 20 years. I was like,
oh man,
have you lost your goddamn mind? I mean, it's one of the best songwriters and him and Glenn Frey teaming up
And
together.
that was Linda Ronstadt's band.
Yeah, I mean the same. Yeah, that's where they
That's
came
how
from.
far back they gone.
Yeah,
they come from.
And it doesn't matter. I mean, those songs are timeless.
Are
man.
you sure it wasn't Joe Walsh talking?
No, it wasn't. He knows better than to talk up, man. No, Joe Walsh has been a pretty good. He kind of just rolled with the punches on whatever happened, man.
I feel like Joe Walsh doesn't have bad days. That guy just gets up and everything is awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Dude, I remember when Glenn Frey, and he was, I'd say he's my favorite Eagle, but man, I loved them all. But I remember when Glenn Frey died, and I was like, how the hell did Joe Walsh outlive him? You know, I was just, I just couldn't believe it, you know. But yeah, no,
he's
did.
gonna outlive us all.
I think so. Apparently,
him and
man.
Keith Richards.
Yeah, God,
he's the American Keith Richards.
Yeah, exactly.
That is true, man. God, I didn't think about that, man. I'm sorry I pulled us off.
It's all right.
But when you said that, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. It just reminded me of.
But Jared, you consider yourself like singer songwriter more?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm a singer songwriter.
Yeah.
My new record has rock and roll songs, has a ballad or two. It's got some blues stuff on it. It's kind of hard to say what genre it fits into, but I don't know. I just like writing songs, and I don't really care what they sound like as long as they're good,
Yeah, and you have one called, is it Pauses? Is that right?
Paused.
Yeah, that one's cool, man. That reminds me of something like Queensryche would do, or Fate's Warning, like those.
Sure, yeah.
Short.
I could see that, definitely.
Yeah, I thought, man, that sounded really cool. I could listen to that stuff all day.
That's old stuff, man. That's like my first record.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, man.
Doing the homework.
Instead of speaking of pauses, you took a little pause in there, didn't you?
What's that?
On like releasing new music and stuff like that. I saw you did that.
10 whole years. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like,
That's
man.
a good pause for sure.
Everything kind of stopped so I could go be a dad.
Oh
so,
yeah, that definitely happens.
That'll happen.
Yeah, life kind of got in the way for a minute and figuring it out, and ended up moving across the country because of it and all that, and sort of a couple years ago figured out like, okay, I think it's time to get back to being me. So
yeah.
Were you from Maine originally?
I was born in Texas, actually.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man!
He's a Texan.
Yeah. And then I grew up in Connecticut, and then
that was
I lived in Texas twice, and then grew up in Connecticut, and then moved to Maine, and now I'm in downtown Minneapolis.
You're all over the damn place, man.
Yeah. I'm looking at Seattle next. Every time I'm there, I'm like, damn, I could live here. So.
Yeah.
Just go to Float Seattle. Best cold plunge setup ever.
He's definitely staying out of the heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's that's.
So as a singer songwriter, you think it's harder to like get noticed? Because there's a lot of singer songwriters, but
There's a ton of them.
Yeah.
And I'm not being mean, but because it's so easy to just get in a car with a guitar and go play somewhere.
Right.
I feel like a lot of them, you get lumped in with guys that maybe aren't ready yet.
Yeah.
Maybe could use a little more polishing or whatever. And that's cool. Like we were all there. So it's not the end of the world, but like sometimes you're like, come on, man. Like
there's a lot of singer songwriters. Yeah.
Yeah. So then when you see a good one, you're like, damn, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. And they, there's a bunch of them out there. In fact,
all the ones I know like are Matt Nathanson. He's pretty cool.
Sure.
Was Eric Hutchinson? I think he's friends
Eric
with
Hutchinson. He's
friends with Daryl
he's in
Hall.
town in like a couple of days.
Oh wow, he's friends with like Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
There's.
I'm going to see Corey Brannon tonight. He's in town tonight. So,
and there's
if you guys don't know him, check him out.
Gavin DeGraw, that in New York, I think.
Cool. I hadn't heard anything from him, but yeah, he's
a big kind of bigger one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few names like that, but then you get your older like James Taylors who are Legends.
And those guys, man, they're great, dude. They're some of the best.
Is Jack Johnson considered singer-songwriter?
I guess he would be. There's
kind of pop, right?
There's honestly a lot of punk bands now that take breaks and then their singers go put out a singer-songwriter record or two, and they're amazing, you know? Like Laura Jane Grace or Brian Fallon or Frank Turner is an amazing singer-songwriter that also has kind of a punk edge, you know.
That's quite a turn.
That's cool though.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's kind of quite a turn.
Show you variety.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, when you think of singer-songwriter, I always think of kind of beatnik or, you know, earthy.
Like the Beatles.
Yeah. But I mean,
it's kind of, it kind of goes across all genres, which is something I sort of dig. Cause like, you know, like David Bowie, I would say is a singer-songwriter, you know, like, and, you know, the guy did whatever the hell he wanted. Tom Waits is one of my heroes. And,
Tom Waits,
that guy started out as like a crooner, Jesus. And I cover that sometimes. Oh, really? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He's very talented, man. Like I said, you don't see them. I don't see any I don't see the big names of them anymore like you used to. And I think maybe a lot of that.
I think they tour. You just gotta be on the right place.
No, but I think
see them. You know,
I think maybe you see because of the sterilization of the music industry compared to what it was in the 70s, so to speak. You know,
it could be. I mean, like Steve Earle's still out there and doing it, and he's a hero of mine. I feel like, again, because these guys, you can travel real easily. You know, you don't need a bunch of people and a bunch of gear. You could just kind of get a guitar and go.
And you do have
whatever.
YouTube.
So those guys can tour into pretty old age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that maybe you're not hearing a lot of new ones now because there's still a lot of older ones around.
I think I saw the guys from Air Supply were touring last year.
Yeah.
They're kind of a duo, right?
Yeah, they are a duo.
Yeah,
they're getting their money.
That's crazy. They're still doing this.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, in this day and age, man, they make that money, man. Yeah. So, yeah.
Whatever works.
Yep.
That's right. There was a guy out of Dallas that I saw at the table at Madley. I'm trying to remember his name. Was it Wilkerson? And he would qualify. Yeah, Zach Wilkerson. I think he would qualify for that in that genre as well. He was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So do you make it out like you're the North? Are you in the Northeast now, or you said where are you? Wisconsin?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
I'm in Minneapolis.
Okay. Yeah. So you just kind of stay up.
Which has zero shortage of amazing musicians here right now. Yeah. So because of that, it's kind of, you know, it's hard to get shows around here. There's so many talented bands. Wow. So, you know, another reason to get out on the road and go tour. You know? Yeah. It's like, it's easier.
Are you able to
go somewhere else?
Go into Canada, any of the Canadian provinces?
Not recently. I was in Toronto the last time I played up there, and that was a bit ago. But I know it's kind of hard to get back and forth through Canada now with everything going on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's right. Yeah, I got more BS that we don't talk about. But yeah.
Yeah, I talked to my label guy the other day about, should we be looking at Canada? And he was like, you don't want any part of trying to get across the border right now.
Just wait. Yeah.
That's terrible, man.
I was like, okay.
It is. And it is what it is right now. But,
sure is.
Yeah, but no, the Minneapolis area around like the stadium, man, it is freaking beautiful, man. It is.
I live a block from the stadium.
Yeah, remember I was telling you that. I really loved it, man. I mean, you could very friendly, all kind of great shops, man. It's well done. In other words, there's no burnout area right there. Not anywhere I went, and that's where.
No. I mean, if you there's certain areas you can go where it might get a little hairy or whatever, but this town, I mean, it's pretty good about taking care of itself and each other. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did the 2016 when Metallica did they was second after Luke Bryan. They played the new Viking Stadium. I went to that, and then
yeah.
And then I did was it last year I did a Twins game? I can't remember all the, and it just, man, I just loved it. You know, I was like, man, this is a really nice downtown area, man. So yeah, it is nice. Very friendly.
Yeah. I just saw Paul McCartney at the Vikings stadium.
Wow.
Oh damn.
And
cool.
It was cool to just like walk over to it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we're gonna walk over and see a Beatle.
Yeah,
so,
that's pretty cool.
That is very convenient, man. Yeah,
it's pretty.
Now, do you get out? You tour mainly around the Midwest? Is that your mainly your goal? I mean, the Midwest crowds have actually they support music better than most locations in the country, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of anytime, anywhere kind of a guy. You know, like I said, I grew up on the East Coast, so that was really where I cut my teeth. You know, starting off just regionally and then like being able to do runs and growing up there was great because everything was 2-3 hours away. You have a brand new market, you know, so it wasn't really super long drives. Or here, you know, you drive 6-7 hours and you're one state over, you know.
Yeah,
It's like Texas.
That's Texas, man.
Yeah,
for damn sure.
exactly. So, but yeah, I'm kind of, you know, if there's a party, let's go.
I got you, man. And anything else that you want to pop on and announce?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, I got a couple of festivals coming up. We're doing Rock the River in June. We have Midwest Friends in May. And then there's some things that I'm not supposed to announce it, I guess tour dates or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you keep an eye on Rock Sun Records, they'll announce it soon. And then my page as well.
Okay, yeah, and give us.
When you do full band, who are your band members, or do you like hire different people?
Right now, my buddy Pete's my drummer. He's the guy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the glue.
Nice.
And then you know, we're still. I'm trying to find. I would love another guitar player, or maybe like a keys, or you know, a B3 or something like that, you know, like kind of really thicken out the sound.
Yeah.
So we're still trying to put stuff together.
Do you do anything with a nylon string?
A little bit. My daughter got one from Santa.
Oh, nice.
Sometimes I go in and sneak in and play on it a little bit. So
cool.
Good deal, man.
Yeah. Basically, I mean, you know, if it has strings, I want to. Right. I want to be messing around with it. So.
Right.
Yeah. Did you? I was going to ask you. Let us know. Give us your socials, man, so people can get out there and find you.
Yeah, sure thing. My Insta is just J McCloud with 2 C's. That's probably the one I'm most active on.
Okay.
And then Facebook, I believe, is Jared McCloud Music. The website is just jaredmccloud.com. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Anything up on YouTube and stuff like that?
Oh yeah, if you Google me, you'll find me. We just did a video a few months back for Landscape, which is off the new record, which came out pretty cool. We just went to a beach and kind of guerrilla filmed it and everything, and
nice.
Put it all together, and I think it came out pretty good.
And by the way, I will say Jared does have good merch too. So
that's right.
Go get his merch.
And you can buy it online?
No, come buy it, damn it.
Yeah. He does have good merch. He does have a good variety. So yeah.
Online too?
Jared?
Yes. Yeah. At jaredmccloud.com, you can find all the merch stuff. Okay. And then I think there's some new stuff coming out soon, a couple new t-shirt designs and stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah, you're keeping that fresh, man. I liked it. When I went out, made sure I bought a couple. I usually always do. Support your artists, man. Yeah, damn
that's right.
But man, dude, thanks for joining us today, man. It was good running into you, and I'm sure it's not the last time. And because I crisscross the country, I'm sure we'll. And like I said, Rock the River. I'm positive I'll be there because I think I forgot who else Courtney told me was there, but somebody else is there too, and I can't remember who it is right now. But
it's a pretty stacked bill. I know Ray Van's on there. I just did a run with him, and those guys are fantastic. It's gonna be a good time. I'm looking forward to that one for sure.
All right, dude. Well, everybody go and check out Jared McCloud.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Get his music. And everybody, we are out of here.
Later.